I'm your host, Neil deGrasse Tyson. What does that mean?
It means if I'm ever at a bar and some flat earther comes up to me, I can quickly get back to my drink. Does that sound good?
Okay, so what I don't do,
What do you not
it may
do?
feel this way, and I've done it once, maybe twice, but what I don't do is debunk life doing that. I'm an educator. My task, full of shit.
Astrophysics, but his mission goes much wider, to get us all to respect scientific fact. So how's that going?
I don't have a good answer for that, and I poked around in the ether for what could be behind it that represents sort of an objective truth about this world. How that was conceived and done. And if no one can duplicate your results, it's not a result. But at the time you came up with your result, the press came up to you and said, this is amazing. Let's make a headline. This undoes the cherished beliefs of generations of scientists. And so it leaves people thinking, lost track of what open mind means. When I say Earth is round, you're not being open-minded by saying, you know, I wonder if it could also be flat. You have to know at what point the evidence is sufficient to have established an objectively true understanding of the natural world. And then you move on.
Is that where you feel America has been going?
So worked for the city government, immersion. And so for me to know or to ask how they navigated the hurdles that they confronted. Why living on the same planet? Just take a look at Earth from space. It'll re-benchmark all that you thought mattered in your tribalistic ways. That would have planets and possibly conditions for life as we know it. Or even better yet, life as we don't know it. It's one of the things we're proudest of.
Yeah.
It's called a decadal survey.
I know.
We get together and we say, let's prioritize 10 years
I
of
know.
money.
And here's what they lay out.
Among others in this group, is follow the water.
Committed to space.
Yes, it is a lower national priority, and part of it is because we all bought into a narrative that was delusional, that create health and wealth and security. Now we can talk about the billionaires. The billionaires are opening a new tourism industry. I don't have a problem with that.
You, in recent years, you ran into some significant personal trouble. You faced allegations from women you had worked with, from academic colleagues, of abusive behavior. Now, they never reached a courtroom. Nothing was ever put before a jury or a court.
So then why are you mentioning it? So that was, I think, long overdue. And so I think any time there's a movement, you have to ask, well, what are the forces operating on that movement and how they're going to manifest? And I'm happy we live in a world, by and large, where an act of accusation is not itself a verdict of guilt. Okay? If it is, that's a different country. That's a different legal system. That's a different... If that's sufficient, then you just indict people by up or down vote based on how things are reported in the press and what people think is true or what they even want to be true.
But I guess I'm asking you something slightly different, which is whether you reflected on whether you needed to change some of your behaviors.
That very question presupposes guilt.
Not at all.
Of course it does.
At all.
So I would say that I was glad for investigations. I'm glad for that. As any such situation should be subjected to. That's called civilization. Otherwise, what kind of world are we building for ourselves? If guilt is just established by what people want or feel should be what's going on in the world. So that's how that. I was delighted that everything got investigated. Very happy for that. Here's another one where I have the objectively true side of an argument and the other person does not.